Hello. Thought I would practice my violin. Haven't practiced it very much this winter. I haven't been doing very much of anything this winter. But today I have to make myself do some things, like for instance the plumbing. So since I can't sit on my computer, because once I get on my computer I get lost. So I have all my tools in place under the sink, except I need to go get my solder out of the greenhouse, and it's raining. And I don't want to go out there. Do you blame me? Now let's see, if I were going to go out there, I would need to put on my mukluk shoes, my mukwa shoes, and I would need to put on my raincoat, and I would have to go up and get a hat that's a rain hat. Then I could go there. So when I feel like going up to get that hat, then I'll be able to do it. The reason I don't want to do the plumbing is because it might not work. Once I've cut the pipe, it's cut. However, it's already cut. There is a slice in there. So what difference does it make? Now when I got this tap, I got it from the dump, and it had these two pieces of metal coming down out of them. So what if my connection is wrong? What if the piece that I have to connect up into the tap, see, it looks like what is it called when it's got the screw marks? It's grooved? No, there's a real word for it. It's grooved on the outside, and the pipe is on the inside. I imagine that the pipe is just slipped in and soldered. I could be wrong. It could be screwed in. Now, if I were to cut the pipe, I could try to unscrew it, but most likely it'll just bend the pipe. So now I might not have enough propane in that little tank in my blowtorch. So if I don't have enough propane, it takes a certain amount of time to heat that tap up. But once I've cut the pipe, it'll heat up better. If there's water behind there, it's very hard to heat the pipe up. But there's no water there, the pipe is empty. So if I cut it first and then I try and blowtorch it, it shouldn't take as much propane as it would if I don't do it that way. If it had water behind it. Okay, so if it doesn't work, you see, you have to look at the worst case scenario. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is we don't have any water in the kitchen. Hello, we already don't have any water in the kitchen. The worst that'll happen is I have to call a plumber. Well, if I call a plumber now, he's going to do part of the same thing I'm going to do. But if I already cut the pipe, he has to do less. So it's actually going to save me money if I do have the long run, if I have to call a plumber because I didn't do it right. Also, a worst case scenario is I cut the pipe and then I can't get it out of the top part. If I can't get it out of the top part, what do? Do I have to buy a new tap? Call a plumber. right? What if I call a plumber and he's going to charge me $80 or something, plus I have to get a new tap? So I might as well just buy the new tap and put the new tap in. It's the same price as the plumber, but I have a new tap. So you have a whole new fixture. And the new fixture, I'd like to get one with a hose that comes up. Hey, there's some really fancy ones where the place that squirts water out has a big hose on it, and you can take it out and rinse all over, shoot your children on the other side of the room. That might be useful, except there aren't any children at home anymore. Darn. See, it's very important when there's a job you don't want to do that you think through every part of the job and figure out why you don't want to do it. What is the blocking thing? And then you figure out the worst case scenario. And then you can overcome those things. So I'm a lot closer to doing that now just because I've talked about it. I have to go get the solder. I have to get my matches. I've got my matches. Did I put them over there already? Get my matches. I have to get down there. I have to put the flux on. I need something to put the flux on with. I don't have anything handy. I guess I get a Q-tip. So I got to bring a Q-tip and the matches and go out and get that solder. So first I have to go upstairs and get a hat, a waterproof hat. Then I can wear all those things that I have to wear to go out there because it's raining hard. Get the solder. I should have brought it in the other day. But that's not here or there. So I have to go upstairs and get the hat. Then I have to go out there and get the solder. And then I have to bring the matches and the solder and the flux and a Q-tip and my propane tank. Maybe when I'm in the greenhouse, let's see if there's more propane too. That might help. And then I'll get under there and I'll light and I'll have my cutter. I'll cut that pipe. Then I'll light my propane torch and I'll squirt it up there and see if I can get that out. And if it works, it should come out very quickly. And then I'll put the flux on the old part of the pipe and shove the old part higher up. It's not steady. It's way over here. It comes a long way. I put it there myself. And so it's kind of just hanging there. So I can push it upward and have the part without the cut be the new end, and I just put that flux around it. It says it cleans it and fluxes it. That's good. I don't just do it with steel wool. And I shove it up into the other part. I have to put the flux up in the other part too. Shove it up into there. Stick my blowtorch on it, and however, I have to hold it up there and hold my, so I got to hold it with one hand and I got to use the other hand to hold the blowtorch, and then I've got to hold my solder up there, and the solder, as soon as it's hot enough, just putting the solder against the pipe, as soon as it's hot enough, the solder will go and it'll just zoom right around it. It'll just take a millisecond and the solder will have sealed the whole thing. It's very amazing how that works. And you don't have to keep putting more solder on. Once it goes, as long as you fluxed all the way around on the inside, it's going to go, the flux will draw the solder to wherever the flux is. And then I can get out, get up, come in here. No, I'll turn the tap thing. I'll turn the little tap valve I put in there. And that's the only place the water's turned off. That's right. So I turn the tap thing, and if the water squirts against the wall again, I turn it off. And I wipe up the mess. So, as above, so below. Once you've created the whole thing in your mind, doing it is just details. See? Time for another song. was south wind. Okay, I'm going to go do it now. Amazing! I am doing it! Ho, 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 ho.